Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode we are talking about SCP-017 or the Shadow Person. Object class is Keter, meaning they are extremely dangerous, extremely hard to contain or just impossible to contain. Very excited about this one because it's one of the before 100s, which I think are the most unique in my opinion. But, we'll see. I really have nothing else to say at the beginning of this video, other than the simple fact that I'm thinking of, so I gotta think of the words for this, but what I want to do is, anytime I do have free time, I find myself in a constant war between do I play a game, or do I do this? I want to do this, but at the same time I really want to play just a video game, unwind throughout the day, you know? Part of me wants to do like a separate channel where I could just upload gaming stuff. Not like high quality editing or something like this. Like hour-long videos of me playing games just to have them there. So it feels like I'm doing something. You know? I've been thinking of doing that. I don't know yet. I'm still contemplating it. If I do it, I might want to do face cam for it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's still up in the air. Even if I decide to do it, it's not like it'll happen tomorrow. It's a very long away thing. And even if it happens, it does not mean this channel will stop getting uploads, because this is what I like to do. The gaming is just to make it feel like when I genuinely don't want to sit here for hours on end and constantly edit, and I just want to unwind and play a game, I'm still doing something, which is what I want. I said my piece about that. Not getting into another big rant, as I do, usually. Without further ado, let us begin. Special containment procedures. SCP-017 is contained in an acrylic glass cage, 100 cm by 50 cm by 50 cm, centrally suspended in a concrete room measuring 6 m by 6 m by 4 m. Attached to the walls, ceiling, and floor of the room are high-intensity arc lamp spotlights pointed directly at the acrylic cage to ensure that SCP-017 is constantly exposed to light from every angle. Personnel assigned to the SCP-017 control room are to monitor the functionality of the spotlights and the emergency generator system and call for maintenance immediately upon knowledge of a burnt-out lamp or an issue with the generator. That was a long paragraph. Get room measurements. They're in measurements that I can understand, kind of, I guess. But every part of the room is attached to a high-intensity arc lamp spotlight, which is pointed directly at the cage. It's to constantly flush out the creature with light. Upon hearing this, we have a picture as well, and it looks like this. It's just a black blob in a white room, which, you know what? That alone is kind of like liminal in that sense, you know? It's like, oh, what the hell is that? But you could see the lights on the walls. It's just a bright room with this black shadow person. The name of the SCP, Shadow Person, yeah. It's just in the corner. Is he hurt by the light or weakened by the light? It's kind of scary if it's like if one bulb burns out or there's a small issue with the generator, they have to call for maintenance immediately. What happens if the room isn't engulfed in light? Is this a creature that can travel through the shadows? Or like it's stronger when or other shadows are around? Because that's what my mind immediately jumps to. But I do not know. I also don't understand why this thing's given Keter. It's a very small article. But it's fairly small. It's not very small. It's fairly small. Which means a lot of mystery, which means a lot of discussion. Yay. Continuing on. The only circumstance under which personnel are allowed entrance to is to replace the lamps. Personnel entering the room are required to wear a designated full-body reflective suit and must be cautioned not to step in front of functional spotlights. So They're wearing reflective suits. What does this thing do? Reflective suits. That feels important. Can't step in front of the spotlights because that'll cast a shadow. You know? Which leads me to believe it does travel through shadows. If they can't stand in front of it and there are shadows, wouldn't that be what it does? I don't know. I've never read this one, so it's all up in the air for me. But I would expect it to, but I could be very wrong. Moving on to the description, we're finally gonna learn what this thing is. So, SCP-017 is a humanoid figure approximately 80 centimeters in height, anatomically similar to a small child, but with no discernible identifying features. SCP-017 seems to be composed of a shadowy smoke-like shroud. No attempt to find any object beneath the shroud has been successful, but the possibility has not been ruled out. So, it's a child? Or not a child, it's something anatomically similar to a child. No discernible features. That's very liminal. That bothers me. But the main thing that's getting me is that it's a smoke-like shroud, but they can't find anything within the shroud. So, in terms of a shadow person, is this just like a shroud of darkness with nothing inside it? Even if that's the case, how did they contain it? I don't know. That's I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like it because there's no discernible features. It reminds me of like a analog horror type thing, like Mandela Catalog style thing. No discernible features. It's a shroud of darkness, and it's Keter class, meaning it does something. And there's only 1.5 paragraphs left. So, well, let's just see what it does then. SCP-017's reaction to shadows cast upon it is immediate and swift. SCP-017 leaps at the object, casting the shadow, and completely encloses it in its shroud. Whereupon it returns to its normal size, leaving no trace of the object behind. So that's what it does. It consumes them. I thought it would, like, travel through the shadows. The fear is if there's a shadow, it'll use the shadow and engulf the thing casting the shadow in entirety. Thusly, it creates a, it eats people. It eats people. It eats anything that could cast a shadow. I wouldn't call it eat. It engulfs everything. Which, that alone signifies that it's that gives it its Keter thing, because it could just consume anything. Could it consume a building? Because I don't think there's anything in it, meaning it could grow and shrink to what it needs and then returns to the original size. Where does everything it engulfs go? And what? I don't think of it as eating. It does not feel like it's eating these things. It feels like it's taking these things away. Oh no. How do you stop something like that? How do you stop something that's non-existent, in a sense, where even if you cast a shadow, you're dead. You're done. That's it. There's one more part here called additional notes, which is just a singular sentence saying personnel with beta clearance or higher should see also document number 017-1. So, it's not linked there either, so I can't get to that document. The thing that gets me is that I don't think you could fight this thing. If need be, if say some god-awful scenario you had to defend yourself, I don't think you could. Unless you, like, had a light on you, but I don't even think that would do enough. What happens if it engulfs, like, the room it's in? What if all the lights go out? Will it just eat the room? I'm saying eat. I don't think of it as eat. I think of it as engulf, but eat is just, it just comes better. But how did they contain it? How did they find it? Again, this is what it looks like. So just that black blob there is just a shadowy figure that engulfs things that cast a shadow. I don't like that at all. There's not really much I could say to this, other than the fact that because it's something to do with light, it feels like it's scarier in a way. It's not the same as like SCP-173. It's not the same as something like 096. Those are scary in that they are a physical threat. This is scary in that it's a threat that if you cast a shot, you're done. There's no way of defending yourself. It's not a physical threat. It's something to do with the light. Light that's just in the like around you. It uses. And once it catches that shadow, you get engulfed. And it's terrifying. It that's the whole article, mind you. Like that whole bit. So, I think I'm just going to leave this episode here. I've kind of said my piece. It's a very small article with a Keter SCP. I feel like there should be more information there, but there isn't. I don't know. There are much better SCPs. I'm just waiting on another sprite. Once it's done, I'll be able to do longer ones because I want to have more of a variety of the sprites to do the longer ones because I feel like sitting there looking at the same one for a while is kind of boring. I understand this isn't a lot to do. It's just kind of something you put on in the background to listen to, which I like more. It's something you put in the background to listen to, where you just absorb the information with no visual distractions. Not to mention, it's me, it's my character, and I like that a lot. We'll see what happens in the future. Thank you all so much for listening. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe, as that helps me with motivation, as well as wanting to do this more in the future, and just overall makes me more happy. If you have a suggestion for an SCP, please leave a comment, and I will look over it and most probably make a video on it, or anything else for that matter. Just know that I really do prefer SCPs, because it's all concise information right there. It doesn't require a lot of dig up. Though in the future, when I have more time, I would like to move, like, expand to more horror stuff that's harder to find. But for right now, I kind of just want to stick to SCPs. Unless you have something that's really concise that I could look at that's otherwise, then please leave that suggestion in the comments and I will look over it. And when I have time, we'll see. We'll see if I can make it happen for you, because I care about you guys and that's what I want to do. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.